So begin mindfulness practice today with adjusting your posture. And the first step toward adjusting the posture is to feel in the body what might need to be adjusted. Or do we need to allow our seat to be comfortable on the couch or chair that we're sitting on so that we feel grounded and the sit bones are wide. There's a little relaxation in the hips as that muscle release and relaxation goes down the legs into the feet. And then we can notice the length of the spine as it reaches up from the base all the way to the crown of the head. And we hold both those qualities. There's this groundedness through the seat and an open spaciousness as we lengthen the spine and reach toward the sky. And begin to notice the breath, the inhale and the exhale. And just noticing the breath tends to bring us to a very mindful place. A place that's very in the present because we're just noticing as we take a breath and maybe we feel the belly or the chest rise. And then we release the breath. We feel the belly and the chest let go. Maybe we feel a little air at the tip of the nose as we breathe in. And the air streaming out as we breathe out. And we welcome in this present space of noticing the breath. The inhale and the exhale. Follow the breath and feel the physical sensations in the body. And also check in to see if there's any emotional sensation associated with noticing the breath. A little calming, relaxing, letting go, a quieting of the mind, perhaps, if that's available to you, as you just notice each inhale and each exhale. Very good. And then we go inside to where we hear thoughts in our mind. And begin to notice any thought that's coming up in the mind. Maybe related to something that happened today or yesterday or will happen tomorrow. And rather than sort of grab on to that thought and trap it inside our head, we can allow it to just be and then sort of burst like a bubble, a soap bubble that bursts in the sunshine. Any thought that comes up, we know we have the agency, the ability to allow it to just dissipate. We don't need to hold on to it. It doesn't need to drive us to do anything or go anywhere or be any different than the way we are. It's just a thought. And we hear these thoughts in our minds. And the very human tendency is to hold on to them, try to solve them, try and have them lead to something that needs doing. And soon, as we go through our days, a lot of these thoughts sort of build up in the mind and circle around. But at any time, we can take a few mindful moments and just pay attention to the thought. It's not like we have to make it go away. And allow it to release or let go. So that another thought can arise. Or not. Maybe there's no thinking in your mind right now, and that would be rest. And you can enjoy that. But let any thought arises, pleasant, unpleasant, or neutral. Know that you don't have to react to it. You don't have to act on it. You can just let it release. If one thought starts to lead to another, to another, to another, to a story, and they all connect together, that's what our brains are really good at. Just interrupt that train and let each thought be a discrete entity that arises and you let it go. So there's plenty of room in our minds for as many thoughts as want to arise as need to. We just don't hold on to them and start to circle them around. They release and let go. And then check in again with the physical and emotional feeling. When we release thoughts instead of grasping onto them and letting them circle around, often there's a sense of relaxation, satisfaction, or contentment, even curiosity sometimes about the process. And you can enjoy those emotions. Maybe there's a little release in the muscles in the body, in the face, of the shoulders, of the belly, of the hips, of the legs, or the feet. And suddenly, the whole world is different, even though it's just the same as it was when we were perhaps holding on to some of these thoughts. But you've just created a mindful space for yourself. And any thought that comes up, if it has a charge, you can just notice it and let it go. Nothing needs to be done with it right now. Noticing each thought as it arises and letting it go. And then noticing if there's comfort in the emotions or in the body, feelings as you go through this practice. And you are actually hearing thoughts in your mind. It's a quiet voice somewhere between the ears. A process of listening and letting go. So hear any thought that arises, acknowledge it. It may have a charge, pleasant, unpleasant, or neutral. That's okay. And then let it go. Let it burst like a soap bubble in the sunshine, or recede away like a wave that's come up on the shore and then drifts back to the sea. What a valuable skill and process this is. A way to create spaciousness and openness in our busy minds. And then to finish our practice, we'll return to the breath. Notice the inhale and the exhale. And notice how maybe the world is different than when you started practicing. And it's not actually any different at all, but you've changed. Just noticing the inhale and the exhale. And I'll count backward from 5. And when we get to 1, we can move around a little bit and open our eyes. And our practice, our formal practice will be finished. But we can take this ability to be aware into the rest of our day. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And that finishes mindfulness practice for this week. We'll see you next week.